So I think in the interim, some things that are different is that we need to be focused on how to preserve the real estate asset up until we do open again. And that may be a different process than what we've had in recent years. Securing the chapter house, dealing with an organized move-out process, repairing damages in a time when construction is suspended at companies or in certain states. Those are all going to be some new challenges that groups will not have navigated prior to that. I think also in the interim, there's issues with finance, not only looking at budget, but working with current students on payment plans for the current rent that they may owe, deferral agreements, credits, those sorts of things, looking at early payment plans that may give a discount to students to pay their rent early to give operating funds that will help in a difficult time. And I think that we have to, beyond that, looking specifically for the fall, I think we're going to have to fight an impression, what I'll call the cruise ship impression, where parents especially are going to be worried that there's all these guys crammed into a small house, and that there is a potential for for an outbreak to spread rapidly. And the cleaning protocols are huge with that, is what he suggested, and as I think Clay will address. But more frequent cleanings, wiping down doorknobs, using the proper sanitizers, those things are big. And then the communication program to assure the parents and assure the kids that the food service is going to operate in a sanitary manner, that there's these other precautions put in place. Another thing that we're seeing that we're having to implement right now is to change lease language so that anybody who has not yet signed leases for next year has a contingency agreement in that lease that says that if school does not open in August, they will not be held responsible for that lease agreement. We have some new clients who did not execute leases in the fall as we recommend, and now we've got 11 leases for a house that sleeps 65 people. We aren't going to be able to open the chapter house in the fall if we don't have signed leases. So there's going to have to be some flexibility on finances and some reassurances, a lot of communication, and some accommodations made if school does not open in the fall. Beyond that, we're helping a lot of our groups with the economic emergency loan process to try to replace revenue that may have been lost through rent. I mean, we're seeing about a 50% rental payment rate right now with our clients, and that's certainly going to hurt cash flow, the ability to prepare these houses for the fall. So we haven't found that the Payment Protection or the Paycheck Protection Act as of yet has not shown a lot of promise for fraternity property owners, but the EIDL loan may have some reasonable prospect, and frankly, it might be an opportunity for some groups to take out some money to do some renovations and get long-term money at 2.75% interest. So I think that's a quick summary from our point. In many cases, I feel that the fraternity housing model is broken. The idea of alumni volunteers pushing down the daily management operations onto the shoulders of the undergraduates is just a model that's not sustainable, and that's frankly killing our fraternity housing operations. And we're going to be forced to have a paradigm shift as to how we look at our fraternity housing and what happens in it through this crisis. And I think we need to try to optimize that and say, we aren't providing a house that a bunch of students rent. Hey, we need to provide a great fraternity experience that happens in that house, and look at the model of how we deliver that experience safely, good food service program, good leadership training, other sorts of things that change the model of fraternity housing away from the alcohol-based fueled parties that are really the underlying reason why a lot of our properties are functioning, and to move it back towards a better model. So to the extent that we could collaborate on developing a better fraternity housing experience that provides a better outcome, I think that that's good not only to deal with COVID-19, but good to reverse a bad direction.